This farm gets more than 675 magma blocks per hour, or more than 2700 magma cream per hour. It's designed to be quick and simple, with minimal materials required to make the farm and minimal effort to build it. What's up people, I'm Potato Noir, and today we're going to make a magma block farm. Magma blocks are really useful in gold farms, so in order to make one of those, we want to make the quickest and easiest magma block farm that we can. So with that in mind, I've designed this farm to use only one golem and use minimal materials involved. This will be part 1 of a 4-part series where I'm making this magma farm, a new gold farm, a new bartering farm, and then ultimately a diorite farm. So the magma cubes spawn on these platforms and they're attracted to the iron golem. As you can see, they'll be able to target the golem whether on this platform or the platform below. Because of these slabs here, it actually lets the magma cubes detect them from quite a ways away, and then they'll hop into the middle where they'll fall into these sweetberry bushes. So I actually tested out both powdered snow and sweetberry bushes because magma cubes take extra damage from powdered snow. The problem is there's a little bit of a time between when the magma block is in the snow until it actually starts taking damage, so the time to kill is a little bit slower in powdered snow than it is for the sweetberry bushes. And additionally, if you wanted to use wither roses and soul sand or soul soil here, you could totally do that as well. And that would even decrease the time to kill a little bit more than sweetberry bushes would, so if you have easy access to those, feel free to use them, but otherwise sweetberry bushes will work great. We'll get you 2700 magma cream per hour. I believe the wither roses will get about 3100, so there's a little bit of an increase there. And up here we have the golem platform, and what this is doing is actually taking advantage of the fact that magma cubes have a hitbox that's a little bit wider than 2 blocks. So that's where this little weird shape comes in. There's 2 blocks in between each of these spaces right here, and actually there's 2 blocks in between these glass panes and that block right there. So this means that the magma cubes won't actually be able to go and hit the golem whenever they're jumping in, which is great because we don't want the golem to take any damage. So a lot of the farm designs I've seen on YouTube actually don't seem to take advantage of this at all, and will just kind of spam walls or things around the golem in ways that don't make sense, and I don't know what's going on there, but I think this is better than what I've seen on YouTube. And if you're wondering about these leaf blocks, these are actually for pack spawning on the platforms. So when the game decides to choose a block to spawn on, it actually can choose these blocks right here. Even if the game can't spawn a mob exactly on one of these blocks, it can pack spawn onto this platform right here, which is important because we're trying to decrease the time to kill a little bit because these magma blocks are really slow. So we don't actually want cubes spawning all the way out here, but we want them spawning closer. So we'll increase the spawns a little bit for a little marginal increase there. Why these are only on the top and not the bottom? Long story short is putting the blocks on the top will allow pack spawning onto the platform right here below as well. And if you're interested in learning more about the spawning algorithm, Nico is Lost has a really good video on it that does more justice to it than I could possibly get, so go watch that video if you want to learn more about how that works. And finally down here we have the incredibly simple minecart with hopper collection system. So this unloader is really nice and simple and only uses exactly 6 powered rails, which is really nice because you don't have to craft more than 1 batch of them. So if you're in a version before 1.21, you can use this without the crafter, and you could just put a hopper line in the chest right here for magma cream storage, and that would work perfectly fine. But we might as well use the crafter in 1.21 since it'll go ahead and make the blocks for us, and that's mainly what we're interested. And this is about 3 hours worth of blocks right here. So if you're wondering why there's certain blocks right here and not anywhere else on this platform, this has to do with the AFK station, which is just some scaffolding way up there, and you can see we have a player who's AFKing for up there for us. And if we take a look at the spawning radius of that AFK spot, and so once we get the cube spawning, something interesting kind of happens on this middle platform. Because we don't have the leaves around it, there's a very small chance of a cube kind of going haywire as soon as it spawns in and kind of falling off the edge here. And so what that does is it kind of will decrease the efficiency if they just sit on the nether ceiling right here. So if we put the AFK spot in this exact spot, this is optimized to where on the majority of platform, if a cube falls off this level, it will despawn immediately whenever it comes into contact with any of this red space here. Why this is nice for efficiency is that a cube that falls off and despawns won't be hogging up the mob cap. And if you can see, the mob cap is getting pushed pretty hard right here. So we're getting really close to 70, if not more than 70 a lot of times, because the cubes break into more cubes whenever they die. So minimizing the mob cap is really important for this type of farm, and that's why we have this despawn sphere exactly placed in this spot. So whenever we have the leaves here, this ensures that if a cube does kind of get a little bit buggy at the edge, it won't actually fall off the platform. And that way it'll see the golem and go back and be killed instead of falling off and sitting around here and kind of hogging up the mob cap whenever we don't want it to. Oh, and one more thing, you may have noticed that there's no gas protection on this farm, and this is because this farm deals with gas in a really innovative way. which is just not caring about them at all. No, but seriously, we don't actually need to gas-proof this farm because at most there's going to be 1 or 2 gas spawning, which won't actually contribute to the mob cap at all. They'll just kind of float around right here and we'll never actually be able to see the player even if they get immediately up here and in the center of the scaffolding. I did a lot of testing with this, and the gas, even if they float right up here and right in the center of this scaffolding column, they'll never actually be able to see and target the player and shoot them. You just might want to be a little bit careful on your way up and down. And this kind of decreases the headache of adding a bunch of blocks on the top of the farm when it's not really necessary. They don't really matter. So now that we're done with all the explanation of the mechanics, let's hop into the tutorial.
Like I feel, baby, then come on. Oh, come on. Woo. Let's get it on. So much to give, understand me, sugar. Since we got to be here, Leslie, I love you. There's nothing wrong with me loving you, baby, no, no. And giving yourself to me can never be wrong if the love is true, oh baby.
As always, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please go to my Discord where I have lots of help channels dedicated to ask questions. Additionally, the world download and the schematic are both in the description, so feel free to use those if you don't want to do the block by block tutorial. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next 3 videos in this series, and I'll catch you in the next video.